Hey there, everybody. Welcome. So when you're ready, let's come to child's pose. And separate your knees nice and wide. And anchor your hips down onto your heels, and you'll slowly lower your chest down to the floor, pulling the ribs in and up and rounding the back almost like cat pose. And as you lower your chin to the mat, just let everything melt. And although we're going to focus on breathing in and out through the nose, while we're here, just allow an exhale to escape through the mouth. Releasing it and letting it go. Maybe giving your head a little shake from side to side. And feeling the shoulder blades roll off and apart from each other. And so that you're feeling this broadening on the back side of the body. And slowly walk your hands forward. Letting that breath move in and out through the nostrils. Load the weight into your heels, into your hips as you stretch the spine long in both directions. And start to melt the heart and lift the shoulders up and away from the ground. And as you inhale, slowly walk your hands over to the right. You can lift your head and place your left hand over top your right. And pick your torso up and place it on top of your right leg. And reach actively through the left side body. Cinch the right waistline in and stretch long all the way down the left side. Taking a deep and full breath in here. Breathe it slowly out through the nose. And gathering the front body in to walk yourself over to the left side of the mat. Place the right hand over top the left. Lower that left torso on the left thigh. Anchor down to the right heel and arch the spine. Curl it to the right. Pull that left side body in and take a breath. And slowly crawling back to the middle of your mat. Lift yourself up onto hands and knees into tabletop. So we're going to find a neutral spine to begin. Spread your fingers wide, land your shoulders over your wrists. And pull the front body in, gather it in. Lengthen through the crown of the head and feel the neck get a centimeter or two longer. And on your next inhale, slowly start to pull the shoulder blades back. Curl the heart forward, keeping a gentle tone in your navel. Lift the hips, cow pose. And on your exhale, scoop the tail underneath you and curl into the spine into cat. And let the head drop last and gaze down the bridge of your nose. Inhale, unfurl your spine forward. And suction, cupping the shoulder blades onto the back to move the heart through. Gentle tone in the belly. Exhale, round the spine. Curl yourself up and back. Just like that, keep breathing yourself forward and back. You're welcome to close the eyes. And feel your body sync with your breath. Really concentrate on moving the space between the shoulder blades forward. And feeling this dynamic movement in the spine. Take one more round of cat and cow. And return to neutral. And squeeze the side body in like you have shrink wrap around you. And it's just gently hugging everything in, making this nice and compact. And slowly walk your knees back. Slither your heart forward, lower all the way down onto the belly. And we're working on bringing both strength and softness into our practice today. So bring your left hand out to the side on an angle, like a 90-degree angle. It looks like a cactus. and roll to the outer blade of your left hip. That right leg will come right back behind you, so bend the knee and place it down on the floor and lower the left temple and the left cheek to the mat. Really intentionally invite softness into the front of your left chest. Breathe into it. Take another breath in. And then you'll gently begin to roll yourself forward like you're coming onto the belly, but pause until you come up onto the tiptoes of your right foot. And roll forward just enough so that you can float and hover the right leg, and then also float and hover the left arm up off the floor. Whew, it's challenging, so hold it here. Feel that strength, that active outer left arm holding up against gravity. And one more breath in here. And then exhale to release. Roll right onto your other side, bending at the right arm, 90 degrees, and rolling onto your outer right hip. Lowering the right cheek, the right temple to the ground. Bend your left foot back behind you. And just soften down. That left hand can act like a kickstand. That left knee doesn't have to be all the way bent. It can be somewhat bent. And just feel the breath wash through you. And by bringing both strength and softness into these shapes and into our practice, we create a little bit more resiliency and pliability in the tissues. And slowly begin to roll yourself forward, coming onto the tips of your left toes and then floating it up off the mat, rolling forward just enough so that you can pause and hover the right arm and the left leg in midair. Squeeze the right shoulder back, press it up, hold that left leg in place, and then slowly release. And come right onto your belly and untuck your toes. Slide your hands back beneath the shoulders and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lower your forehead down to the ground. And take a deep breath into your belly. And exhale, feel the shrink wrap action wrapping around the front, back, the sides of your torso as you slowly breathe in. Peel your front chest up off of the mat. Exhale slowly to release. Twice more just like that. Squeeze the inner thighs. Exhale to release. Load the weight into the tops of your toes. Breathe yourself up. Feel the knees hovering up off the floor as the feet stay rooted. And then exhale, slowly soften. Lower down. And curl the toes underneath you. And spring yourself back into puppy pose. And as you curl the toes under, walk your feet forward. And knit the low ribs in. Squeeze them in. Draw the belly in. And feel the tailbone lift high to the sky. Reach the arms forward and feel the stretch in the side body, in the armpits, the front of the chest. And keep the head lifted as you extend long from front to back. And then begin to melt the space between the shoulder blades down as you actively lift the arm bones up and away from the floor. And keep pulling the belly in. Feel all of these dynamic movements happening at once to make this shape happen. So we move with integrity. We move with this essence of grace and of knowledge of ourselves. Good. Curl the toes under. Lift yourself up and back. Downward facing dog. And puppy pose is just so appropriate for springtime because it's puppy season. Yay. And begin to bend the knees, maybe pedal out the feet. And can you feel that soft quality behind the heart? In downward facing dog, there's a softening in the chest. And there's also a strength and a sense of support in the arms as the hands press down. And the biceps gently squeeze in and the shoulder girdle lifts you up. And hug the low ribs in. Engage that low belly as you reach your hips back behind you. And take a breath in here. Let it all gel. Are you gelling? Inhale up onto your tiptoes. Exhale, bend your knees and pull your chest in towards your thighs. You're in this squatted dog. Activate the muscles of your arms. Press them out away from you. Now scoop your low belly under and inhale to spring yourself forward to plank pose. Land here at the top of your plank and lift your right leg up. Squeeze the inner thighs. Hug the navel in. Good, and we're gonna do a twisted mountain climber, but we're gonna switch and hop breath by breath. So breathe the right knee in and across to the left. Exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last time, right knee. And now reach it up and back, three-legged dog. Stay steady in your hands. Even in the shoulders, and then bend the right knee, open all the way up. Get that nice, juicy thigh stretch. And scooping the low belly, engage the pelvic floor. Squeeze those muscles up and step your right foot all the way through. Everyone's probably like, squeeze your what? We'll talk about pelvic floor another time. Good, now press down into your right heel with your right hand on the right knee. Roll the right shoulder back. Pull that left side body through. Find a twist. And slowly spin the back heel down. And we're gonna walk the hands out into a down dog lunge. As you plug down into the feet, reach your booty away from your head. Press your right knee out to the side. And can you find that softening in the heart? And it's not just a total disengagement or a blow down to the floor, but the arms support you as the heart melts down. It's both. And slowly walk your hands back, move back, plank pose. And take a breath in. Exhale, down dog. Squeeze the low ribs together. And breathe into the upper back. Breathe into the back of your lungs. Be curious about the places that you can send your breath. Lift up onto your tiptoes. Find your squatted dog. Bend the knees. Scoop the low belly in. Press your chest towards your thighs and then spring yourself forward, undulating like a wave to your high plank. As you extend the sternum forward, reach back through the heels. And then lift the left leg up and exhale, cross it over to the right. Cinching at the waistline. Take a few hop twists. Last one. Breathe the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Reaching energetically through that top foot. Bend the left knee. Plug the hands down. Suction cupping those shoulder blades up onto the back. Find your three-legged dog. And now step your left foot all the way through. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left hand to left knee. Roll the left shoulder back. Squeeze the low belly in and twist. Slowly unraveling yourself and lowering the back heel to the mat, wiggling and adjusting that left foot out to the side as you walk the hands off to the right and find your down dog lunge. And slowly move yourself back to plank, top of a push-up. Engage the belly, hug the ribs in. Now as you lengthen, shrink wrapping the muscles around the core all the way in. Feel the strength, the softness. Allow the breath to move. Slide the shoulders forward. Bend the knees to the mat. Lower your chest between your thumbs. Untuck your toes. Inhale to peel yourself up into cobra. Exhale to release. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Stretch back, down dog. And reach your right leg up and back, engaging the glute muscles to reach energetically through the right foot. And use your core to step your right foot forward. So scoop the right knee in. And inhale and lift up, high lunge. And allow yourself a moment just to settle into the shapes. Squeeze your right heel in. Feel that shrink wrap action hugging in. You can feel it a little bit more vividly here in a place like high lunge. And then slowly spin the back foot down. Opening up to warrior two, bisect the back arch with the front heel. And flip your front palm and drop your left arm to the left leg as you reverse your warrior. Cinching the left waistline in, breathe the right lung and the right side body open. And staying low in the front thigh, slowly move yourself into side angle. Right forearm rests on top of the left leg, but also stay active. So don't just dump into there, but use the muscles of your legs. Turn your heart open, extend long through the left side body, and take a breath in here. And exhale, slowly take your left hand down and step right back into plank pose, top of a push-up. Breathe the spine long, hug everything in. And let it all congeal into the body, seal it in with your breath. Lean forward, bend the elbows straight back, lower all the way down, gathering that front body in the whole time. Flick your toes back, load the weight into your pelvis, wrap shoulders back, pull your heart through. Exhale to release. Curl your toes under. Lift yourself up and back. Downward facing dog. Settle back in here. Yoga allows us to eccentrically engage our muscles, which means that we combine the strength and the length. So they're pliable, they're resilient. They're strong enough to support us, but also have this quality of softness and flexibility that moves us from shape to shape. You can lower the knees to the floor if you need. Maybe take a breath. In child's pose, I should say. Definitely take a breath. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. And then breathe the left leg up and back for your three-legged dog. And hug the inner thighs together. And stepping your left foot through, hug the navel in. And plant that left foot down firmly as you breathe the arms up. And if that's too difficult of a transition, if it really knocks you off your center of gravity, and then bring your hands to your hips first. It's always a good way to set your foundation, to tap back into your steady and resonant breath. And reaching long through the side body, can you feel the ribs float up off of the hips? Get nice and long. I'm going to do what I always do. Good, open up warrior two. Haven't quite found a workaround for that yet. Maybe some sort of movie magic. And flip your right palm, reverse your warrior. And cinching the right side body in, can you plant your feet down firmly into the mat? Breathe yourself right back into warrior two, landing into side angle pose. And draw your left shoulder away from the ear, lengthen through the right arm. And draw the navel in, feel the shrink wrap, start to turn your chest open more. And inhale, lift yourself up. And from here, straighten your left leg. Point your toes towards the long edge of your mat. Reach your arms up and overhead. You're gonna turn your heels in. Bend the elbows, bend the knees, and sink low into goddess. And here's a good place to invoke softness. You can slide, shimmy a little from side to side, but press the knees apart from each other. Feel the outer hips start to talk. And as you hug the heels in, press down through the feet and feel that shrink wrap action happening. Squeeze the side body, front body. Breathe into the back of your lungs and lift through the back of your head as you keep your elbows bent. And you're gonna lower your hands down to your knees. And inhale, breathe the spine forward, stay low. On your exhale, dip the left shoulder down and twist your chest to the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, dip right shoulder and twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Keep moving. Last time. And slowly lifting yourself all the way up. And coming right back to the front of your mat, lower your hands down. Step back to plank, take a breath in. Exhale, shoulders shift forward. You can lower the knees or bend the elbows about halfway. And flick the toes back. Pull your heart through, maybe coming to upward dog. Pull the heart through, spatula it through. Good, engage the belly. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips, meet back and down dog. Good, now from here, a little bit of rapid fire exercises for the arms. Slowly shift yourself forward to plank, roll and undulate like that wave shape. Letting the head lift last. Reaching the heart forward, the low ribs hug in and pull back. Look down at your right hand and start to roll to the outer blade of your right foot. You can turn the hand out a little bit. For some people that's extra helpful. So pull that right shoulder back, suck it back like a vacuum. And if you really need the extra support, which is fine, set that left foot forward. But actively press down into the outer edge of your right foot and squeeze your right hip in and up. Maybe the left arm lifts and reaches up and overhead. Keep the integrity of this shape by hugging the right shoulder back and pressing the mat away from you with both points of contact. And slowly release. Roll through plank. Find the length in the column of the spine. Roll to the outer edge of the left foot. And automatically engage with these 2 points of contact. Press down, hug in, lift up using the outer left hip muscles, and maybe that right arm reaches up and overhead. Squeeze the legs together. And slowly release. Downward dog. Whew. And just for a moment, let's lower down onto the forearms. So if you need to come down to your knees to do this, just lift them back up. And coming into dolphin pose. And press down into the forearms and into the hands. And just feel. So the whole point of our practice is really to vividly embody these characteristics. Feel the strength necessary to hold yourself up here. Press down. Hug the elbows in towards you. Feel the outer shoulders engage. And now cultivate softness in the back of the heart. So press it through like you're just melting it back towards the feet. Stay engaged. Stay with your breath. In and out through the nose. Press the floor away from you. See if you can move your heart back behind you as the shoulders stay squeezing onto your back. Lift the hips high. Whew. And then slowly release everything down. Holy cow. Child's pose. Because I need that just as much as you. And try to maintain the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. And we cultivate strength with softness because we can't only have muscles that are strong and dense and contracted. but we also can't be too flexible that we're weak. We want the strength that supports us, but also the softness that allows us to move with grace, with integrity. And ultimately, having both of those things existing in our body that we can call upon when we need it, or at least recognize when we're lacking one thing or the other, allows us to move a little bit more freely. And when you're ready, make your way back to dog and then slowly walk your feet to the top of your mat. And coming into a nice wide-legged forward fold, but not quite. So by that I just mean take your feet hip-width distance, outer hip-width distance apart. Bend your knees and reach your spine forward. Feel the low ribs pull in and back. Belly is engaged. And feel the crease at your hips and maintain that as you drop the upper body down. And plug the feet into the mat and start to pull up onto the thigh bone. So as you begin to straighten the legs any amount, and suction the thighs up into the hip sockets. Feel the pelvis like a bowl just tipping down towards the floor as the sit bones lift. The tailbone points up high to the sky. And let the head just drape down towards the floor. And now notice where you can shore up this pose. Draw the ribs in towards the back. Maintain this strength in the legs. Breathing into the back of your lungs so that the upper body simply cascades down towards the mat. Inhale, look forward and lengthen, hands onto shins or 2 blocks or maybe the mat. Exhale to release. And walk your hands forward so they're all the way straight. The upper body is on an angle as the feet press down. And take your breath in, breathe the spine long. And exhale, sweep your right hand underneath and grab hold of the outer left shin. You can crawl that left hand forward towards the middle of the mat, but find a little resistance. Press your left shin and your right hand against each other so that you can use that as leverage to find your twist. Squeeze the left shoulder back, pull the heart through. Let the head just dangle down. And cinching that right side body in, slowly release and feel everything just rebound back to neutral. And breathing in here. Make sure there's a little bit of softness in the knees. Squeeze the low belly in, reach the spine long. Feel the hips stack over the knees and twist to the other side. Thread the left arm under. You can move the right hand towards the middle of the mat as you gaze underneath the right armpit. No other time that you're really gazing under your armpit than in yoga. But I don't know your life. Wrap that right shoulder back, start to cinch the left side body in as you pull your heart through. Breathing, noticing, feeling, letting it all be here. And slowly release. Stretch the arms forward. Breathe the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to your side. And close the eyes. Level the chin off with the mat. And you can heel toe the feet in, standing in Tadasana. Shrug shoulders up to your ears. Soften them down the back. Interlace your hands behind you, bend the elbows generously. And then start to wrap the shoulders back. Squeeze them together, but don't pop everything forward. So the tail anchors down. Shrink wrap the muscles of the core. Feel that transverse abdominis hug in. It's softly bending the knees. Start to reach your knuckles down. Pull your heart up and through as the shoulders spatula the heart forward and the knuckles drag down towards the floor like an anchor. Start to arch up through the neck, the crown of the head. Take your gaze up, lift your chin, and stretch. And slowly release. Shrug shoulders up to ears. Breathe the arms up. And exhale, hands to your heart and lean over to your right. And pull your left knee up into your chest, flex your foot. And really squeeze that left thigh bone in, pull the ribs back. Now from here, you're gonna press your arms up, make fists, and then karate kick your left leg out long, plug the thigh bone back, engage the low belly. Good, release and soften the fists, and then thread that left leg back behind you, bring your hands to heart center, gathering the front body in and up to warrior three. Squeeze the inner thighs, hug the outer hips in. Breathe the spine long. Strength and softness. Slowly bend the front knee to lower the back foot. And as you hug that right heel in, draw the tail down, breathe the arms up. And on your exhale, bend the elbows like cactus. And wrap the shoulders back, shrink wrapping the core. Hug everything in, lift it up. Now start to tip the shoulders forward, tip the elbows forward, I should say, and pull your chin up and away from your chest. Reach to the crown of your head like your big ponytail, flinging back behind you. And as you arch the heart up towards the ceiling, actively squeeze the shoulders together. Maybe the arms reach if it feels okay in your back. And then exhale to release everything down. Lower the hands to the mat. Drop the back knee to the floor. Just take a breath in. And heel toe your right foot all the way out to the edge of the mat and bring your hands down. And just settle in here. Let the sensation of your hands, your feet, your knee on the mat ground you down. Find a nice length in your spine. And then turn the right toes out on a diagonal and roll to the outer blade of your right foot, just as much as you like. It's nothing super intense, just bringing in a little more external rotation so that the piriformis muscle, which is chronically tight, you can lower down to your forearms if that's there for you, or stay on the hands. Or both activating it and lengthening it here. So as you feel all of these things existing in your body, just notice how you can meet yourself right where you are. Soaking up an appreciation for the dynamic components and multifaceted parts of yourself, just so you can make this shape and be here on your mat. Just show up for it all, without judgment, without critique. Just awareness and appreciation. And slowly lift yourself back up onto your hands. Point your toes forward. Heel toe the foot back. Step yourself back to dog. And then walk your feet forward. Bend the knees, point your toes forward. Inhale, slide your hands up, half lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep arms up. And exhale, lean to the right. Lean to the left. Pick your right knee up. Squeeze that front body and gather it all in. Now squeeze the outer waistline in, their low ribs hug together so that you can pick yourself up. From here, make fist. Feel all this contraction. Extend through the right leg. Pull the low belly in. Karate chopping. And now soften. Thread it through. Breathe yourself back to warrior three. And keep that left leg activated and hugging in as the inner thighs squeeze together. Maintain the length of the spine. Bending the left knee with control. Breathe the arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Gather the shoulders onto your back without losing the activation of the front body. So hug everything in. Lift and tone the navel. And start to tip the elbows forward. Curl the chest forward, not in the low back, just from belly button up. And soften the space in the back of the heart. And you push it through as you press your head up and back. Maybe the arms reach back behind you. Inner thighs stay activated towards each other. And then exhale to release. Slowly lower down. Drop the back knee to the floor. Wiggle your left foot out. And walk both hands in. Just take a breath. And take up a little space on your mat. And it's okay to take up space. It's okay to go wider and adjust as you need. And start to roll onto the outer blade of your left foot, widening the left knee away from you. And even draw your left hip back. When you're ready, you can lower down any amount. The elbows don't have to come down to the floor. They can kind of stay bent, or maybe you have a prop at home. Just drawing the left hip back energetically. And sending breath into that space as if you had an extra set of lungs there. Just notice, sometimes tightness isn't always strength. Sometimes it's also weakness. So as we engage this outer left hip and we soften it a little bit, we're making this a more resilient part of our body. Integrating that into our muscles, our tissues, our bones, and our cells. And slowly step your left foot back behind you and lower down onto your knees. Just holding here in Virasana. Feeling the low back move in and up and that navel tone like you have a zipper in the front of your torso. So that the shoulders can soften. The head can stack on the spine. And just breathe. And slowly roll onto one side. And taking your feet out in front of you. And just shifting yourself forward so that you're in the middle of your mat. Go ahead and grab your shins. Inhale, lift your chest. And on your exhale, reach your arms forward and pull the front body back to round like cat pose. Drop your chin down towards your chest and slowly, meticulously lowering each vertebrae down to the floor at a time. Keep scooping the low belly. Squeezing the navel in towards the spine and lowering with control. And eventually the upper body descends down to the floor and the shoulders relax. I'm gonna scoop myself forward. And let's cross the right ankle over the left knee. One of my favorite ways to end. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can always take a regular supine twist, which is just legs together. But we're gonna add a little bit more of an outer hip stretch because I know we all need more of that in our lives. And take the hands out like your cactus pose. Arms bend in a 90-degree angle. And then bring your left hand like a kickstand to the inside of your right thigh. If you like, you can take your gaze over the right shoulder. And feeling the gentle twist in your spine. And breathing in the sensation in your outer right hip and perhaps the low back. And these shapes offer so much more to us than just the physical. They allow us the chance to shift our lens, to make a choice. and to broaden our scope and recognize our capacity for change, of tolerance and kindness to ourselves and the shifting landscape that exists in and around us. When you're ready, switch sides. Breathe the legs up. Uncross at the ankles and cross the left ankle over the right. And I always like to shift my hips over to the other side, lowering the knees down, or the knee down and the left foot to the floor. And if you like that kickstand, you can prop your right elbow and your right foot up. And again, if it feels okay on the neck, you're just going to gaze over the left shoulder. The eyes are closed. The jaw is soft. Your breath is full and deep. And slowly pick your knees back up. Uncrossing the ankles. Gather your knees into your chest. And lift the upper body up off the floor. Hug the legs together, round your back. Even drop your chin into your chest. You can rock a little bit from side to side or just start to pull the knees in closer towards you. And as you lower the upper body down, yogi's choice. You either stay here and make your way slowly into Shavasana, or two options. You can slide the hands behind the knee joints and take the knees nice and wide, letting the back of the pelvis relax down into the floor. It's great for anyone with sensitivity in the knees. Or there's happy baby. Just making sure that the sacrum stays rooted and that you're not over-efforting to get here. I know on so many days, I always want to bypass that and just make the shape. But make the shape that's most comfortable and easeful for you here. Meet yourself where you are. And with strength comes softness. And with softness, there's receptivity and understanding. And awareness that things can't always be exactly how we want them, but that as long as we're willing to step into it all and release the feet down, you notice just how much is really working in our favor. That there is this underpinning of support that exists just to keep us living and breathing. So as you rest down here, just relax into the support of your mat. And slide into an easy and unefforted breath. For the next few moments, just allow it all to be exactly as it is. Within you and all around you. Begin to deepen your breath. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana at home if you have more time. Otherwise, begin to move your body Stretch in any way that feels good. Slowly pulling your knees in and rolling over to one side. Take a breath here. And gently pressing yourself all the way up to sit. Ending right where we began. Fold your hands together at your heart and close your eyes. Let's share one round of breath. And exhale, let it all go. And thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.